guys, Sharon of the future here, or the present but future for this video. Yeah, so as you can tell by the title, we didn't make it to Drift Week. I'm going to explain why throughout this video. We spent a hell of a lot of money trying to get there. It just wasn't in the cards for us. At the end, I'm also going to go over our costs leading up to Drift Week without even pulling out of our driveway. So stay tuned to find out how we blew $1,000 trying to get to Drift Week. Like if that ball lets loose, the thing just rolls back. Like there's nothing else securing it. Oh, like on its face? Good morning. So disregard how swollen my face is and what a mess I look like. The footage you're seeing before this is probably us loading up the truck and trailer for Drift Week. Our original plan was to bring our open 4-car trailer, put my camper up on the top, put Laurent's trailer up on the top, take the wheels off so that they were lower, put our cars on the bottom, pull it with the toter so that we could get to the Pacific Northwest. So that's like a 42-hour trip from Jersey. So we wanted to bring the toter so that we had a place to sleep along the way. And then when we got there, we wanted to be able to unload and have my camper so that we had a place to sleep while we were on the trip, to save on the Airbnb costs. So what ended up happening was we were heartbroken when we couldn't get the camper to be the right height on top of the trailer. It was coming in like 14.1, maybe 14.2. We would really like to be under 14. 13.6 would be ideal to make sure we could get through all the tunnels and stuff. So we unloaded it. We sat down and we talked and we said, you know what? Maybe this trip just isn't going to happen. Maybe we'll do some local events. And heartbroken. Like, I've never seen Laurent so heartbroken. We've put a lot of time and effort into getting ready for this trip, especially with like the new trailer, both the new trailers, the camper, like getting everything prepared as well as the cars. We were all basically packed and ready to go. Everything just had to be loaded up. So we decided we were going to not go. We said, okay, we'll just stay. We'll do some local trips, like little weekend stuff. And we were okay with that. We did discuss all of our options. One of them being unloading our big white stacker of all the stuff that's in it currently and then making everything fit in there, which it would, we think. But then we talked about the fuel costs. When we went to Utah with the stacker and the toter, we spent like $8,000, $10,000 round trip in just fuel. So we know going to the Pacific Northwest would be very close to that, and if not a little bit more, although the diesel prices have come down a little bit. It just wasn't something we thought we would be comfortable with right now. With the open trailer, there wouldn't be as much drag. It's much lighter, so we knew we were going to be saving on that. So we went to sleep defeated, and that's okay. But it is 7 o'clock in the morning, and Laurent is outside moving things around already. I thought he would have slept in a little bit. So I'm going to go outside and see what he's doing and what his brain was thinking all night that he's now up so early when we went to bed so late for our elder selves. So yeah, let's go see what's going on. So it turns out that Laurent was just putting our trucks and trailers back in their spots, and we were definitely not going to Drift Week. So yeah, that was the end of our Drift Week 10 trip. Let's talk about the cost of Drift Week 10. I'm not sure if I am allowed to say how much Drift Week actually costs, but I don't think enough people watch this for it to be an issue. So entry fee. Typically, the entry fee for Drift Week is $3,000 now. This may change depending on who you are, that kind of thing, but it's $3,000 each. So being there's 2 of us, $6,000 in total. This is covering just your tracks. This is not covering food. It's not covering fuel. It is not covering tires. It is literally covering just your track time. With that being said, tires. We were participating in the Velino package this time. There's 2 different ways to do tires. You can either do the Velino package itself, or you can bring your own tires and hope that Aaron's tire machine is working and dispose of them yourself. So for the Velino tires, we got 22 tires in total. I got 10 because I run a different size than Laurent. Laurent got 12. I want to say mine were about 118 each, if I remember correctly. Laurent's were about 120 each. And then what you have to do is you have to pay for a tire package. And this covers $350, covers 20 tire changes and disposal. And then what we had to do was pay an extra $50 for the other 2 tires. But this brought our total to $30.70. But But because we didn't go to Drift Week, we hit up Valino and asked if they could ship our tires, which they said they could, but it would be another $150 in shipping. So they shipped our tires home. We have them. We're good to go. After this, we had to do some maintenance work and some things. Lauren bought this 4-car trailer for us, which was absolutely beautiful. This 4-car trailer cost us, how were we at? $4,000. So $4,000 plus he traded his single car. So single car trade. And then we put some work into this trailer, probably another $200 for lights and maintenance and wires and stuff like that. All right, so that covered that trailer. And then we have Lauren's Drift Week trailer, which we did a whole segment on here. We got this trailer for, what did we get this trailer for? We got this trailer for $4,300. And then we put about, I don't know, $1,000 worth of work into it on the inside, getting it ready to go, new lights, customizing, all that kind of stuff. Then I had my, nope, not that one. I had my little pull behind camper. This was going to be our area of sleeping. This was really kind of ready to go. We probably spent less than $500 in just maintenance stuff for that one. And then we had our generator, Then we had the toter. Toter needed a little bit of maintenance. Our generator went out on this right when we got it, actually. And we've been running off of like a external generator. So we needed a generator. We found a generator for $3,000, which was on the cheaper side, believe it or not, for generators. They were going for like almost $6,000, which is wild. So we got our generator. It needed a hot water heater. We got that off of Amazon for a nice cheap $400. And basically the toter was really ready to go at that point. So we've got our open car trailer. We've got our little one, the camper. Toter's ready to go. Spare parts for cars. So your basic maintenance shit for the cars. I want to say we spent about $2,500 between the both of us. I'm talking like your oil changes, your nuts and your bolts, your extra axles, your diffs, spare arms, spare kit for the angle kit. All of that was probably $2,500 altogether. Travel, tires, and wheels for all of the campers and the trailers. I think Lauren said we spent about $900 on that one. And that got all our tires and wheels for those. Food shopping and prepping. So what I was doing was I had it all figured out. All of our meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, what we were going to eat, when we were going to eat it, how we were going to eat it on the road. I spent about $290 food shopping and getting everything ready to go. So basically what we have here is our, let's see, we've got our entry fee at $6,000 for both of us. We have our tires for $3,070 plus the $150 and shipping them to us. This open car here for $4,200 in maintenance. Lauren's Drift Week trailer here, $43, totaling $53. My camper needing a little bit of nothing. Toter needed some love, spare and maintenance parts, tires and wheels, food prep. Awesome. That's where we got our total. Where's my pen? That's where we got our total at about $25,660. That was our total without even leaving our driveway. That's how much we spent getting ready and being ready. Honestly, if our trailers would have fit on the top of this here, we would have been on the road. And that's what we would have spent just getting on the road. Now, as far as preparing for Drift Week, we were expected to spend a little bit more. So if we went on the trip completely, this is what we kind of expected to spend when we were budgeting. We expected round trip for our rig with the open car to be about $8,000 in fuel. round trip. If we would have X'd out the big one and took our stacker, we probably would have been looking at $10,000 to $12,000 in fuel round trip, and we weren't comfortable doing that. Camping, we were going to be looking at about $350 for the whole trip, which is the reason we wanted to bring my camper, because we were going to save so much more money camping versus getting Airbnbs. Airbnbs in the Pacific Northwest were like upwards of $350 a night, where I found a way in places for us to stay for $350 for the whole trip. Then we would have needed to consider gas for the cars. I was saying $2,000 for both of us for the cars, and then an extra $500 for like food, activities, things like that we would be doing on the outside. And that was kind of where we expected to be. So that was another, I don't know, 11,000-ish on top of this. So let's do some math together. 25,660 plus 11,006,663. So $36,660 is what we were looking at for Drift Week 10 if we would have brought our toter with our open car, Laurent's Drift Week trailer, my camper, and then our cars. We were looking at $36,660 for Drift Week 10. And that just didn't happen. So Drift Week 10 is a no-go. We will see you for Drift Week 11. Hi, it's me again. I do also think it's important to note that your fee for Drift Week is non-refundable. So what happens is you can take the money for this Drift Week and you can apply it to another one. So it just automatically goes towards our next Drift Week 11. So like all of this stuff is going to get reused. So it's not like we threw $25,000 out the door. Although some people might think we did. It was all well worth it. And now we're just more prepared for the next one. Okay, bye.